All right, boom. So I have my file here. I have a little preset file again, template already saved and ready to go. So I click on the the motion tracking tab here. And then let's also set up our settings here. We're going to be at 1080. So let's go to 1080 by 1920. That'll put us in that aspect ratio. And then we're at 30 FPS, 30 FPS. Go ahead and import my footage. Boom, footage is in. It looks a little different because they are EXRs, but that's no big deal, right? So I'm not worried about that at the moment. I'm going to go ahead and hit set scene, prefetch. All right, and let's go ahead and set it up. So I do know it's a perspective track. Again, I was walking forward, so we're getting some parallax. Things are moving, panning left and right. So I'm going to go ahead and change my tracking settings to blurry footage just because I get really good results out of this. Change location to perspective. And actually, this time, you know what? I'm going to actually go to a fine, which is a little combination of both. And then I'm going to go to normal. I'm going to go to settings, change my correlation to 0.9. So I want to make sure my trackers are 90% solid. So from there, what I'm going to do is we're on the first frame and hit detect features. And then I'm going to come inside of here, and then I'm going to put the margin on the edge and bring it in just a little bit, margin edge. So like I brought it in to about probably 60, right? And then also on the threshold, let's see if I can bring in some more trackers right there. That's good. Nice even spread of trackers. Okay, and then I'm going to press Control T. All right, we lost a lot of tracks, but that's to be expected. So from here again, what I'm going to do is press A, press H to hide all those tracks, then detect features again. This time we're going to track backwards, Control Shift T. All right, now what I'm going to do is jump into the middle. I'm going to go like about 110, right about there. Again, press A, select all, press H to hide them, detect features, and I'm going to track backwards again, Control Shift T. All right, back to frames 110. And again, H to hide all of our tracks. H, hide all of our tracks. Again here, detect features. This time we're going to track forward, Control T. So it looks like we're losing a lot of tracks here on the ground. One thing I did do is I paced this off. This was almost like 2 feet wide just so I can have some reference for distance. So I want to make sure I put a tracker here because I know I got one there. Let's go ahead and leave that one there. I'm going to just do this one here solo. I'm going to press Control Shift T. Let it track backwards. Okay, it held pretty good. And then I'm going to probably put one more here in the front, and I'm going to go Control T because I want to use that as a distance reference point because I know how it should about roughly 2 feet for the length of that. And now pretty much we would just go through and find any type of things that are really pointing out to us. I know I'm losing a lot of trackers on the ground here. I'm going to go ahead and press A, hide all of these. And again, kind of just finding some stuff on the ground here. Maybe that. Let's see. It's kind of hard here. I should have threw some tracker markers on the floor, but I don't want to paint them out. So that's the reason why I don't do that. So we got this one and we got this one. I'm going to go ahead and hit Control T. And we already lost one of them. That's fine. The other one stayed fairly well. This one was a dud. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that. I don't even want to waste my time with that. All right. So we got a lot here. So I'm going to press Alt H. We got construction in the background, as you can hear, but that's not going to stop me from making YouTube videos, right? Good. So now let's go ahead and see what we got here. We got a lot of stuff here. I can already see a couple of rogue trackers here, but that's fine. So what I'm going to do is go to solve. I'm going to go here to focal length, optic center, all three of these. And it wasn't a tripod. And let's just go ahead and see if we can get a solve first. Let's save because it tends to crash sometimes. So I'm going to save this in my project folder for this project so everything is together. Good. Now I'm going to go ahead and do a solve. All right. So we got an error of 49. That's just really bad. So what I'm going to do is come in here and let's see, our blue line is making it all the way across. I'm going to come in here and grab some of these rogue ones that are just like way off the path. You can kind of see we got a couple in there. Some that are just kind of hanging out a little bit. Just get the rogue ones first that are not really fitting with the pattern. Another one here. All right, let's go ahead and save that. Okay, so that one actually took a long time to solve, took almost a minute. Then we got a 0.077, which is really good. Not fantastic, but I like to shoot for 0.3s and below. So let's clean up. We can do some more cleanup here. If we go to the dope sheet here up at the top, I already see we got some that are sitting at 10s and 9s. Okay. So what I'm going to do here, we're going to go down to cleanup. I'm going to select and delete track. Anything that's over a 9 point on our error, 0.9, I'm going to hit clean track, and it's going to delete anything that's over a 9. And then I'm going to do save again real quick here because it's already acting funny, and solve. All right, so we got a 0.67, which worked out really good. That's a lot better. I think we can do even better. So we got a bunch of 3s here. So what I'm going to do is go anything that's over a 2, clean it out. And again, I like to save in between and resolve. All right, we got a 0.53. That's a lot better. Let's keep going. Again, we only need a minimum of 8 tracks at any given time on screen. I think we got more room. Let's go down to anything that's over 0.9, clean out, save, and solve again. Again, like I said, I'm trying to shoot for around 0.3, 0.2s are really nice solid tracks. Some people like to stop at 0.7, but I like to push it as far as I can get to make it. The lower that number is, the more solid it is. So look, we're at 0.39. So I'm already liking that. And I think I got a lot of 8s. Let's see. Now I'm getting greedy, but let's go 0.8, clean tracks, and save, because sometimes it will freeze up and then you don't want to lose your data. 0.37, I'm happy with that. We'll take that. Let's get to work now. So that we're already about 9 minutes in, 10 minutes in, and we've already got a good solve there. So now let's reconstruct our scene here. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is come down here to the bottom. We got to select our origin point, and I'm going to select something around here because I got the data for that zone right there. And then again, I need to select 1 point, and we need a ground plane. So we need 3 points for our ground plane. 1, we'll go 2, and we'll go 3. And we'll say that's going to be the floor. And then what we want to do from here, set background, set tracking scene, and let's go see how bad the damage is. This block, I'm going to go ahead and delete that. I don't need that. Jump into my camera view, and our XYs needs to be set. So I'm going to jump back. I want this here. Let's deselect. I want this to be, actually this one here, I want this to be the X axis, right? And this will be Y. Okay, now let's jump back and orientate our scene here. What I'm gonna do is grab the camera, and I'm going to put that into wireframe. I'm gonna go ahead and select this and go to 3D cursor, and then I'm gonna go rotate Z and just kind of get this to line up. Okay, so I want that to be like that. Then I'm gonna go GX so I can get my origin point down here, and I'm gonna go GY. And again, I'm gonna go GX. I'm getting my origin close to here, right? And that's going straight down the street. This is going across. It looks like I probably could. The street is not exactly straight, so rotate Z. Again, hold shift to move slowly. Okay, I'm kind of liking that, right? All right, boom, that's good. That's a setup. Let's go ahead and hit save. Now, what we could do is press play, and it's not lining up, right? Well, that's because we're doing vertical video. So what we need to do is come into our camera right here, change this from auto to horizontal, and now solid as a rock. Look at that, solid. I'm gonna readjust it here because I want my origin to be on top of the manhole cover. So what I'm gonna do is go again and press GY and just kind of slide this so it's about like there, and I'm gonna go GX so I can get it over the manhole cover. Boom. Again, future me, don't forget also, after we've made the adjustment to the camera, to come back up here and change the central point back to a medium, because I did it later on in the video, but I didn't do it here because if this, your pivot point would be all kind of off and everything. So make sure you come back up in here, click on that, and turn that back to medium point, or back to the way it was. Right, now let's play it. That's sitting there pretty solidly on there. Now, save that. That took us about 12 minutes. Now the rest is reconstructing the scene